Hey, you're missing a lot of those short putts. You're missing those putts that cost you money when you're playing that game. You're missing those putts that actually really hurt your scoring. Watch this L2, T2 video coming up. I have a little drill that can help you, and I promise you it'll improve your putting. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about a principle, or you're going to talk about a drill I came up with that talks about how to make more putts or how to become a much more consistent putter, okay? And you guys know that when you talk about putting, it's all about making those 3-footers, those 4-footers, those 5-footers. I mean, when you get the longer putts, those 15, 20, 25-footers, most of those are trying to leg close to the hole and just avoid 3-putting. But when you get inside those 3-footers, those 4-footers, those 5-footers, whether you're 2-putting, or whether you hit a shot close to the hole, or when you hit a chip out there and you're trying to get it up and down, you know, we got to be making those putts. And how can you make more of those? I want to talk to you about what I call the L2, T2 principle, okay? And think about L2, T2, and what that stands for. And there's two ways of what this stands for. The first one is lead hand low, trail hand top. So think about that. L2, lead hand low, T2, trail hand top. So what I'm going to promote, and what I strongly promote, is you go with a lead hand low with grip. So for a righty, it's going to be the left hand low. For a righty, it's going to be the right hand low. And the reason we want to have a lead hand low grip is because it tends to square the shoulders better at setup. Okay? Because what you see with the average typical golfer is when they get up and they have the trail hand low on the grip, okay, or what we call it a conventional type grip, or whatever you're going to call it, when they have the trail hand low, a majority of conventional golfers get their shoulders open. And when their shoulders are open, that's what your arms are going to follow. So if you think about it, every time you get over a putt and your shoulders are open, your putter's going to come to the inside, or it's going to come outside in, or it's going to come away from the hole. And that's why a majority of typical average golfers will miss the ball on the low side or will pull putts. It's because they get their shoulders open at setup. So the way you solve that is through the L2, T2, is we want the lead hand low, trail hand top, okay? And when you set that up with lead hand low, trail hand top, what it naturally does is it just squares your shoulders, okay? Because if you notice here, and you can see this when you look down the line, you can see this from behind the view here, when I sit with my trail hand low, you can look at the shoulders and see they're slightly open. It's just a natural position golfers get in. So if my trail hand was low, I'd have to constantly work on getting my shoulders square. And anytime I started working on something else, my stance, my setup, or other issues with me, my shoulders would go back to open. Whereas you get the lead hand low, the L2 lead hand low, that naturally puts my lead shoulder in a better position and squares them up at setup. Now, my arms, all they have to do is follow the shoulders. And it will instinctively or naturally keep my putter face square longer down the line. And that's the key to good putting. The key to good putting is how long can I keep this putter face square down that line. With the L2, T2, the lead hand low, trail hand top, it'll square the shoulders and it'll give you a better position to get that club down the line. So if I put a ball here and I set up over it, you'll see I can now hit a much better putt down that line. Okay, and if you notice there, as I held that, my putter face stayed square right down that line. So I'll do it again, and my putter face will stay square right down that line. Okay, again. So now, here's the second L2, T2. So the second lead is L2, T2 is lead hand loose, trail hand tight. Okay? One of the most common questions I get is, how tight do I have which hand is dominant, which hand is non-dominant, which hand do I want to have the pressure in, which hand do I want to have the pressure in? Well, when you have the L2, T2, lead hand loose, trail hand tight, so basically your trail hand is controlling the putter. So it's set up on the putter and it's working the putter down the line. The lead hand is on, just basically going along for the ride. It's on there very loose. So if you wanted to call it a percentage, you'd say 90% pressure on the trail hand, maybe 10% pressure on the lead hand. The lead hand goes along for the ride. So the trail hand tight, is controlling the putter. It's the one going down the line and controlling the putter. Okay? So this is why when you see any good player, and we promote this drill a lot, all good players or good putters will use and do the one-hand drill, and it's always with the trail hand. In fact, numerous times Tiger talked about this, and who was one of the greatest putters of all time, and he would say, I will putt with my trail hand only, again and again and again and again in drills, but never lead hand only. The lead hand goes along for the ride. So you want to keep that lead hand loose, nice and soft on that putter. The trail hand controls the putter. So again, you set up, you keep the lead hand loose, the trail hand tight, and we putt down the line. hold that position, okay? So remember, L2, T2. And there's two things, principles you can look at here. Lead hand low, trail hand top. That's to get those shoulders square and allow that hand to go down the line better, that trail hand to go down the line. The second L2, T2 is lead hand loose, trail hand tight. Guys, the trail hand controls the putter. The other reason you want the trail hand to control the putter is because, think about it, the trail hand goes across the body. So it's hard to get that trail hand to come inside or even to go outside because the body's basically blocking it and allowing it to go down the line. If you control the putter with that lead hand, you can pull it real easy, you can push it out real easy, and for most people, the trail hand is their dominant hand. So it's very easy to get that hand down that line towards that target. It's much easier to do that than with the lead hand, okay? So with this being said, it's all about getting that putter square the longest. And that allows you to be more consistent and a better putter. So remember again, L2, T2, lead hand low, trail hand top, lead hand loose, trail hand tight. And by being able to do that, you can hit better putts. You can keep it down the line better. You can become a much more consistent putter, a much better putter. And I promise you, you'll make a lot more of those 3-footers, those 4-foot, 5-footers, which is your scoring putts. Making those 3-footers, those 4-footers, those 5-footers makes that game so much easier, and I promise you, will greatly improve your scoring. Hey, if you like this video, click the like button and subscribe below as we post videos weekly with Graves Golf.